Sweet. Let's get going on sketch79. I'm thinking random jumping off point. Let's just drag this whole project in and roll the dice. Let's get the video out of the way there. Looks like we got a lot of wild cards and roll again. We'll roll again on this one. Wild card means I get to choose whichever one I want, which is kind of nice. I'm thinking because we've done some beats and a little bit more aggressive stuff before, let's do some kind of minimal melodic thing. Maybe a bit of drone in with that. So instrument choices. Wow, 3, okay. So analog, that's easy. Tension, that's easy. Use pre-made instrument rack. Okay, cool. So pre-made instrument rack is something from our racks here, or we can pull in something from our previously made racks folders. Looks like we are done with textures. I'm going to delete that. Keep my space clean. Okay, cool. Which one should we choose? I think I'm just going to kind of have to pick a random one. Let's go with Improv Creation 1 under Multi. Let's move it down here into the main project. Let's see. Sound generators, Multi. And pull this one on in. Let's just dump it in here. Pretty sure it's a... Oh, that was interesting. Okay, cool. Ah, I see. We've got a whole lot more things to play with here. Let's... I've got a lot of options here. And as you can see, it's really pushing our CPU. We've got a whole bunch of effects going on at the same time. Okay, well, we'll just let that one play. Maybe we can turn some of these off. I think I have this set up so that when we pull these knobs down, yeah, drone 1 turns this container off, drone 2, and so on, rumble. Yep, okay, cool. So that's like a well-designed multi, full DSP multi-purpose type of noise-making rack. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's see. So instruments were analog and tension. Let's go ahead and fill those out. Analog. Tension. It'd be great to have a Max for Live patch that just kind of did all this for us and loaded everything in for us. Okay, instrument. We already did our pre-made instrument rack. Effects choices 4. Wow, we're really getting off the hook easy. Use a pre-made effects rack. Okay. Chorus ensemble. Okay, let's go ahead and pull those in. Chorus ensemble. Pre-made effects rack. Let's see. Do we have any in here anymore? Nope. Audio, just sound generators and tonal type stuff. Okay, cool. So let's... Which one should we use? Beat, repeat, effect, select. That's a fun one, especially for percussive stuff. Let's go with... Since we're going to do kind of melodic thing here, I'm just going to say warp and flubber. And we can pick some more later. I'm not going to be too stringent about it. All right, let's roll again. Or let's... Yeah. Oh, so we had 4. So, okay, the reverb. Classic reverb. Seems like the gods of fate are smiling upon us for some kind of melodic, minimal, ambient thing. Frequency shifter. I'm going to roll again. Okay, auto filter. Yep. Actually, no. I'm going to stick with the frequency shifter. It's not something that I use super often, so let's try and... All right, 101 to 120, that's perfect. Let's do 101, 102, yeah. And then the key, wildcard. All right, well, I'll just say key of C, just to be easy. All right, so we're good on these. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all these scenes we don't need. I like to keep a clean space. For me, visually clean space, it just feels easier to creatively breathe. But that's just me. Sometimes when I'm sketching, I just don't even care about all that stuff. I just kind of go nuts and like focus more on sound stuff. Okay, cool. So we can turn off all of these here. Texture, yep. If we really wanted to get the most out of our cores, we would actually duplicate this and just have only one of these on per core. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to group this. Improv. Let's just call this sound generators. So like if we turn all of these on, I mean, I believe I built this. Yeah, we're pushing crazy full. Although, you know, all of them together kind of sound interesting to some degree. Let's turn all these off. Crackle amount. That might actually be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I think this kind of crackle amount controls the density here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and it may be set different for some of these. Right, gotcha. Okay, cool. So I'm going to duplicate this. Call this drone 1. Drone 2, and then drone 1, I want to get rid of all of these. Drone 2, let's duplicate that. I'm going to get rid of let's turn up crackle amount up there. And let me just double check and make sure. 0.01. Yep, looks like something's coming through. Just it's like we have our crackle amount set like really, really low there. Let's see. Drone 2, yes. So let's get rid of drone 1 and everything else other than drone 2 and so on and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video while I do this kind of maintenance-y type thing. Okay, and we're back now after doing a bunch of boring, laborious legwork. But we have all of these separated out, and I've removed all the ones that we didn't need. And as you can see, with all of them on, it's taken up way less CPU, so it's smart to spread things out like that. I mean, as far as a minimal spacey piece of abstract experimental music, you know, this could fly, honestly. But let's take it a step further and do some melodic-y kind of stuff. Reminding me a little bit of the Aphex Twin Selected Ambient Works. I don't know why. Let's get that in there. And I'm curious if this also, this little button here that kind of records your MIDI in the background, if that also grabbed. Yes, it did. Wow, okay, cool. So it grabs MIDI CC stuff as well as pitch bend. That's uber useful. So I want to just kind of use that whole section there. I wonder why my simplify envelope isn't working. Because there's obviously a ton of, yeah, no automation points can be removed. That's very fascinating to me. It looks like there's a lot of extra points that could be removed, so I don't know, maybe that algorithm is just failing in this case. Who knows? Works most all the other times, so we'll just leave it as it is. In fact, I'm gonna unlink that. Maybe it'll work here? I guess not. Wow, okay, weird. Well, we could easily just, like, you know, clean it up manually. It's not as fun. I have to admit, the only downfall to using this routing system here, this is a gate effect with the, as we typically do here in the sketches, using a gate and routing audio using the sidechain. When you solo something, it doesn't really, it solos here, but since we have this, you know, I suppose the workaround is to make this master only. Of course, the only problem with that is now when I turn this on, of course, or unsolo this, we hear two versions of this. Anyway, I digress. All right, let's check out this tension here. Watch that damping. In fact, I'm gonna bust out this preset that we had made some time ago. Forget where that was. It was maybe Instruments, Weirdo Guitar. That's the one. Let's hope it doesn't break. I had actually submitted a bug for this because there's at some point with this preset, if you send enough notes in, it literally just stops. The whole plugin just kind of freezes up on you. Interesting. I'm curious about this here. I'm just now noticing this J74 drum synth. Looks like we've got some operator kind of sounds in here. That's useful. I must have dropped this in here and forgot to use it. But we will have to get around to that at some point. All right, let's get some compression on here, just to limit the crazy volume swings that these drones kind of seem to exhibit. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of these reverbs on each one of these. and put one single reverb on the head here. Now that I'm listening to this for the last 5 to 10 minutes, I'm hearing this drone is a little too incessant. So we can add this tremolo in there, or we could put a note probability gate. That's another cool option. Let's do some of that. I'm gonna bust out this max patch. And let's also use one of those here too. I'm going to construct a whole new hybrid reverb rack preset and make it so the wet and dry is right up front here. And let's give ourselves this little gain adjustment, as well as that. Let's see how far we can get with all that. And we'll save this. And I'm gonna gray mark it. And we had this other one. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Clear all colors. Actually, let's show it. Here, yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of it there. I'm not going to use that one anymore. Only the new and improved one. So cool, got rid of it here also. Much, much better. Try a grain delay in there. think black and white is much more fitting for this tune. Kind of reminds me of like the game Metroid for some reason. Some of those little rooms, tunnels that you would go in, some of the music was so minimal and such an amazing game with such an amazing soundtrack. Really just got stuck in my head so much as a kid. I dare say this would make a fun soundtrack for some side-scrolling kind of sci-fi game. I do say so myself. All right, let's get an effects path going from this group here. God, I wish you could just double click on here and just have yourself a dummy clip that you could get some automations going in. That would be swank. Alright, let's get a gate here. And let's suck audio from our sound generators. And we don't need audio from this. You could either mute it there or go here and choose sins only, which if we do that, that means if we have return tracks, I think it's create, let's see, Control Alt T. Yeah, we can still use our nifty sins. Not that we really want that in this case. I don't think we do. So let's say there's definitely some crazy breathing sound coming from. I can only guess maybe it's this one. Okay, so I set all this up and I forgot what is it even going to do. I think put not that. God, it's so funny. My auto hotkey for gate, Control-Shift-7. Most of the time it returns this now. I have to adjust my auto hotkeys, but sometimes it returns the actual gate. It's a mystery to me. It's very unpredictable. Okay. Just on a hell of digression today. Some days you're just gonna meander. Alright, let's play on that. And let's get some octave shifts in there. See, we are already at -12, so let's get some normal, no octave shift action. All right, back to these drum synths here. Not sure if this is anything that is going to be usable, but let's see, what note is that? It looks like C1. Very good. I'm thinking some kind of slow tremolo for all of these. Sound generator tracks. Like most operator drums, not the most outstanding or original kind of sound, but they get the job done, honestly. Kind of a bit of an industrial type of beat. I'm almost wanting this kick to be a bit more subdued. Kind of a weird little sound in there. Sometimes you just got to do some random, just start playing some random notes, and you never know. Sometimes it a very strange dichotomy with the all the weird atonal stuff. But this new analog layer adds some kind of dreamy quality that, you know, if it came in halfway, I think it would add a nice change up, a nice breath of fresh air. If we had, say, 3 minutes of the atonal stuff, I could imagine a minute to sort of bring in a lot of the dronal textural stuff, and the beat would start to form. And then this kind of thing would come in, you know, around like the 3-minute mark or so. Could add in several other types of layers on top of it also, sort of to emphasize it. We could do an octave shift up, or we could just see how far we get with this frequency sweep. Honestly, there's a million ways to spin it. For the sake of this sketch, I'm just making this kind of a seamless loop. I'm going to bring this back down here. Cool, and let's loop that. And check out our modulation there. And let's get this wrapping around over here. And honestly, if I was going to use this background video, I would actually have the color fade in when this dreamy stuff kind of comes in. That would sort of emphasize the colorfulness that this dream layer brings in. And plus, it would help, you know, add a little bit more interest to the video. Do something like, you know, just slowly fade in the colors. It's kind of a cheap move, but, you know, honestly, sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's good to, like, you know, just go for the low-hanging fruit and see how much you can do with just see how much you can just do with that. And now that I've had a chance to sit with this kick, I want to kind of play with the attack and see if we can get a yeah, it's a nice kind of pulse that it yeah, let's automate that. Let's get some I think we messed our main loop up. Cool. mix is definitely a nightmare on this one. Although we've got it, you know, playing pretty low so far, so I can talk over it, but I can just hear that a lot of tones are really quite forceful. But when sketching, you know, the mix really isn't the main priority. Honestly, the main priority should be just getting some melodic ideas out, getting some rhythmic ideas, and getting all that to sort of work together to create, you know, enough clips here that you have like at least the full body of one section of a song. I mean, if you make your stuff with enough variety and have enough interesting movements and evolutions in each clip, so they all kind of work together, but they're constantly sort of changing and moving around, you know, then you could just easily make a whole song out of just a series of clips, of a few clips, really. I think in the beginning, most people are going to just have one sound per track, you know, and just keep it sort of simple and separated like that. I kind of like to work a little weirder and a little more oddly than most. Just years of doing the same thing over and over again. I guess I had to switch it up. Let's tame that bass. Oops. I stopped using my my max patch I made that has an indicator that lets me know when this is on, and you know, I found that even using that I would still forget that this thing was on, so but now I remember a lot more, so I stopped using this little helper patch. It makes definitely a little more screen real estate. The screen is a little cleaner. I can also hear a high-end some kind of really high type of sound. Yeah, let's get the probability gate on that. And I'm thinking, let's, use this. I guess I could have just copied it over from another track. Let's get one of those on here as well. Cool. Now I want to adjust the volume of this percolator, this percussion sound. I just want to like have this only come up every now and then. I do like the heartbeat we have going on. Let's try something strange-ish and put this master pitch max patch in here. Let's give it its own shorten these so we have a little more screen space. There we go. Definitely don't need all these to be spread out. Okay. Master pitch, there you are, hiding out there. And we just gotta get our track pitch set up before each instrument. Very cool. Now let's try out this +7 for size. Definitely some cool stuff coming out of this weirdo tension. Cool, it sounds like some kind of old school ambient stuff. Okay. I think this might be close to the end for me on this one. Definitely turned into a pretty psychedelic mush. But it really fits with the video, I gotta say. Very cool. All right. Well, I think I'm good on this psychedelic trippy ambient mess. Yeah, so I think we kept it weird. I think we followed our lifeline goal of making things as nutty as possible. Actually, I think we've done much nuttier sketches listening to this. It's like a very melodic and pretty. It's not as like harsh and out there as some of the other ones. So anyway, gonna leave it at that, and yeah, until next time, keep sketching.